So did you guys get to read your first chapter in your book? Yeah. All right. So tell me what you learned.
There's a lot of what we've already talked about, like different kinds of interactive digital media, as well as towards the end, it gave some examples and applications, like of how a student might use it in real world video.
Okay. So what are some examples of that?
Like a video game dev,
Okay.
like a game dev, that'd be cool. Because video games are all interactive,
Yeah.
that'd be super, super cool.
Right. What did you learn?
Didn't get to read it.
You didn't get to read it?
I had to do a festival, and then when I got back from the festival, when I was doing all the papers I had to get done, someone crashed into our property.
Somebody crashed into your property. That's not good.
He went 80, he was going 80 miles per hour.
On the 4 lane right there? Are you talking about where your business?
Yeah. He was a vet, and he passed out in the car, or in the truck.
Was he drinking?
He couldn't breathe. So, somebody couldn't breathe when he passed out.
No, he hadn't been drinking or anything.
No, he just couldn't breathe, and then took out a fire hydrant,
Oh, no.
took out a tree, destroyed our pipelines, destroyed our like pallets, and our all the rocks we had set up, and then destroyed our flag post.
I'm sure your parents were thrilled.
He's fine now. They had to take him to the hospital, but
Yeah.
his truck is totaled. They didn't clean any of it up. There's still car parts everywhere around our property.
Really?
So that happened last night while I was about to go finish up my last paper and read the chapter.
Wow. So he's doing 80?
And he passed out with his foot on the gas, so, you know, if you pass out, your foot's just gonna keep going down. So he's probably going the speed limit 40, on going straight
Oh,
downhill.
gosh, and he's lucky he didn't hit somebody and kill somebody. Because there are always people walking up and down that road.
So, I mean, he must have been going 80 to hit a fire hydrant, clean off the pipe. Didn't damage, he did it so fast and so hard that it didn't damage the pipeline, it just hit the fire hydrant off. That landed almost on top of one of our cars.
Mm.
And if he was a little bit more to the right, he would have crashed into a truck.
Do you all live real close right there?
We live right behind the person.
So did anybody call you to tell you, or did you all just hear it?
They called, oh, we didn't hear it because we were talking to people inside of our house
Mhm.
on headphones, so we didn't hear it. There's trees everywhere, so we didn't see we didn't see anything. And they called our mom, and she was out with her friends at a restaurant, and she didn't pick up the phone.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, like around 7, we found all that stuff.
Well, at least he didn't plummet right straight through your building.
Yeah, other than that. Then basically we were down there for like 3 hours. And I got back home, I had to finish an English paper. And that took me all the way until like 12:40, and I was so tired, I couldn't keep my head up.
All right, so that means that you have to read your chapter now.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it tonight,
All right,
or today.
okay. So what are some other ways you think, following up on what Hannah's saying, what are some other apps and things that you think you could use to make money from?
You know, if you make an app with, like, they could either buy an app that you can purchase.
Okay,
That people could use, or like you want, or like a game app.
okay.
Make a quick game, make it addictive, that people want to play a lot, and then put in-app purchases in it.
How do you think people go about designing apps?
They got a program on everything in it. So they would be making, like, say it's a gaming app, there's 6 libraries. Whatever, they just, all he had to do was design a random layout. Like he'd make multiple, he made one background, then made the assets of the pirates. And then he put it in an engine to randomly place those pipes. From like, this one's taller, but keep the same distance in between all of them. And you make that on repeat until it hits about 900, you want to
Okay,
that's all good.
okay.
And it's completely free.
So that's a gaming app, right? Where do you think the actual development, how does the development start? Do you think he just goes and sits down, and starts doing programming for it, or is there a planning process behind it?
Yeah, there's a development stage, or you have to figure out what you're gonna do with it.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna pedal back a little more. What are some other apps that you can, or some other ways with apps you can make money?
Not for kids, something like that.
Okay, could be. You tell me.
To do the messenger, like what's some of the messenger app stuff, but like all they did was basically you download it, you pay them, then they give you access to use their like emojis that they themselves.
Okay. What about,
That's completely.
okay, are apps exclusive to phones?
Now you can have them on computers.
Okay. Give me an example.
The
What,
Twitch, you know, both.
what,
Twitch. Or basically. Also,
I put on my computer.
Okay.
and on my phone.
Okay, all right. So with Twitter, do you actually log in to the app on your desktop? Or is it installed?
I have no idea.
Like, how do you access it from your computer?
It's installed.
It's installed.
Yes, I just click on it.
Okay, so you click on an icon and the icon takes you to your URL.
Mhm.
But does it open up in a separate window exclusive to the platform? Or are you using an internet browser for it? So like, for example, on your phone, you click the app, you click the icon, but you can't surf or go anywhere else, right?
Yeah,
stay
it's just-
in-
It's just Twitter.
Right,
on
right.
my computer.
Okay, okay. So you've got apps on your phone. You have some platforms that have apps for your computer. What about apps that are add-ons for browsers? What might be an example of that?
like, there's like, there are other browsers.
I'm pretty sure my Disney Plus on here. I have an icon for Disney Plus, and I think it just like pulls up it's like a short link.
Yeah, shortcut to a URL. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so that's not actually an app, that's just a shortcut. So what are apps that can be added on to your browser?
Talking about like, Bing,
No, Bing is a search.
This is also terrible.
Yeah, Bing is terrible.
no, Bing's the goat.
No.
No, it is not the goat.
I hate Bing. Because it's like, Bing, when you search something, even in like, whatever, Microsoft page, it takes you to Bing.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Bing or Yahoo.
You look up suicide on Google, it takes you to suicide hotline. You look up suicide on Bing, it tells you exactly how to do it. Bing holds.
Why would you be looking that up, man?
Bing does not discriminate. When you need to know something, it's got it.
Yeah, I don't think I want to know that.
Bing's just the goat.
You can keep that result to yourself.
Bing's the goat. Bing knows too
Wow.
much. Probably does all other stuff too, but I remember you.
So what is an app you might add onto your browser? When I tell you guys, you'd be like, oh my gosh.
I forget the name. Forget what it was called.
Okay. Have you heard of like Retail Me Not? Okay. Have you heard of Grammarly? Have you heard of
Oh, it's those, yeah.
Capital One Low Price Guarantee, like where they find the lowest price for you?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, honey. Yeah,
I didn't, know that's what you called
yeah, they're add-on apps for your browser.
it.
Yeah.
I was about to say like web, it's called web something. It's like a whole other, it's like kind of like Google and thing, for like webs. I forget what it is.
And that kind of, to do those apps, they're a little bit different, even though they're still an application, they're a little bit different than like what you have on your phone, the way that they work, right? Because they're having to work with another piece of software. So, all right, so going back to, let's say I want to make some money. And there are 1 million apps out there. How are some ways I can make money off of apps besides development of my own? Let's get out of our box.
Alright.
How can we make money with apps that people have already created? There's all kinds of ways.
There's a one app that you like play it, that gives you, I don't know what it's called. It's like,
Do you earn tokens or credits or what?
it just like gives you, like the more time you spend on it, it gives you like credit card, not credit cards, but gift cards.
Okay,
So like Amazon,
Like Roblox.
Roblox does that?
Well, so Roblox is really bad about exploiting its audience because they give you a percentage of money. If you make a world in Roblox, it turns like when people pay to use that world, like Roblox is catered towards children, like young children. And so they're like, oh, let's get this world. But then it's like a 10% thing. And they like exploit their kids, like the kids on the app. And like it turns it into like Robux, which is the currency within Roblox. And then the exchange rate from Robux to actual money, like so bonkers. It's like such a low percentage, but it's still making money.
Mhm.
Roblox is like a terrible, terrible company. Like their CEO is like a bad dude. He's a bad dude.
I'm not familiar with them.
I play Roblox on the side.
He's like, don't exploit kids. That's all. Don't exploit kids. They're stupid. They don't know anything. Even grown people, they don't know better. Grown people are stupid sometimes.
Welcome to the human race.
All right, so that's one way. What's another way?
Fired.
Pirating, let's say legally. What's another legal way?
Like Fortnite has skins, right? Like for your character. If you like design character skins,
Okay,
all those.
okay,
And that's like Fortnite is on like every platform that exists. So that's so many different things that you could get monetary value from.
okay.
Or even like Minecraft. Minecraft also has skins. It also has like modding and servers and that kind of thing.
Mhm,
Like if you own a server like that,
mhm.
I mean,
I don't think you're paid depending on the amount of people that work it.
yeah, I know. Like it's like there's a way, like if there's a will, there's a way. You know?
Yeah.
Like if you're like
And
big
then-
enough, think like Hypixel.
Yeah,
Like
Hypixel.
Hypixel is the biggest Minecraft server that exists,
Yeah, but like in the beginning, Hypixel is more of a donation type server,
for sure.
where you like donated and then they would
Mhm.
like use that money to work on the server. To pay people to work on the server. Fortnite, you have to be in every game. You have to work at every game for that kind of stuff. But like, yeah, Minecraft, you can make your own stuff, put it on, and you can like, it is a whole process where you gotta like send it into, Mojang. and then they would confirm that it was appropriate to put it in, and then they would put it in the store. And then you could send in how much you want for the pack that you made, and then Mojang would take that, fix it to what they think was right, and then they would put it on there. That's all,
I mean, it's still
which is
a
fine.
game.
Yeah,
Most likely it would be a game, whether it's fit for the product and services that you made, that's another story. We're just talking about any monetary gain at all.
any kind of game that has in-app purchases can make a lot of money.
Okay, all right. How could you make money right now using an app?
Right now,
Right now, how could you make money right this minute off using an app? Good, bad, or ugly? What's user-generated content?
That's like recommended stuff, right? User generated.
User-generated. If you're the user and you generate the content,
What are you making your own?
like TikTok,
could be TikTok. Do people get paid for generating content?
Oh, YouTube. You YouTube's very like, I don't know how to say it. Very like iffy. YouTube is like, you could put hundreds of hours in YouTube and they would probably pay you like, it's more like YouTube, you have like 5 minute crap. You have to be just pumping out content
Mhm.
in YouTube and you have to make it like
you
relative.
can't start earning money on YouTube until you reach a certain number of subscribers and a certain view. You
Right,
have to get like, I don't even know how much it is, like a certain thousand, view count, like total, before you can even like apply to.
how's another way though you can make money off of YouTube?
Just got all the questions.
I do. But you're right, you can, like, if you have really high rankings and a lot of followers and a lot of views, there are instances that they pay, right? But let's say I create user-generated content on there, how else off that content can I make money?
And
Ads, yep,
Sponsors,
sponsors,
your own product. So, like,
like merch.
yeah, like
Yeah.
merch,
yeah,
or like you sponsoring your own product with YouTube ads.
yeah.
Like it with YouTube videos.
Or if I'm referring you over to a specific URL that I get a cut off of, because maybe I have my own Amazon store that's actually fulfilled by a company, but I get a percentage because they come through my URL, right? So that's a way you can make money off an app. Okay, how about, you guys are familiar with Adobe? Like the Adobe suite? Do you know what that is? Like Photoshop, Premiere, okay? Those are considered applications. Could you make money using Photoshop? Or Illustrator? Okay, so where do you think like graphic designs come from? People that make logos. Do they use apps to do that? Sure. They use apps to edit video. They use apps to do illustration. They use apps to do animation. Right? So technically, there's another way you can make money off an app, right? Any other ways you can make money off of apps? How about as a reviewer, an app reviewer? Or recommender? Or referral, through referrals? any other ways you can make money off ads?
You can be on Amazon and
Okay,
they send you this stuff.
yeah, they send you coupons or,
Well, heck, they send you the entire product, you review it, you get to keep the product in your day.
okay,
It's crazy. You have to apply to be one. Have ever have done that?
yeah, usually they like people that have really high
Followers.
follower numbers, yeah,
Or you,
influencers.
yeah, or you be the reviewers that like just put 5-star review on the thing. And then they ask them to put an entire daggone paragraph in the. Cause you're like, you're supposed to give like a number of words. In a review.
Which kind of brings up another question as far as influencers. Like, that's a really big trendy word right now. What's an influencer do?
They exist.
They exist.
They
Huh.
exist, and those already do.
They do more than that.
They're fake people.
Whether you like them or not, they do more than that.
It's a fake word.
What do they serve to do?
Entertainment.
Okay, what else?
Being annoying.
Club products.
Yeah. Most of them, that's the goal, is to
Make money.
generate leads for products, right? What's that do to your credibility and authenticity?
If you're built, if you made a thing just to like review products as an influencer, your credibility is literally just to review products. People probably don't care about your own opinion.
Okay. Have you ever been in the market to buy something though, and you want to see what people say about it before you spend the money on it?
Mhm.
Okay. So how believable are all those people reviewing everything?
If it's a high, how I do it is if it's like an absolute overwhelming number of people that have one opinion on it. It's probably that,
Okay.
but it's gotta be a lot. I'm not just gonna listen to like one or two people.
What do you think, Dan?
That's the question.
Okay, people that review products, do you think, are they authentic? Are they,
I think if you're being paid for it, it's a little less believable, because it's like, oh, well, I'm giving you my honest opinion, even though I'm being paid for it. Now we know that's not true. We know that's not true entirely, because there's bias. There's bias in everything, obviously, but your opinion could be swayed by how much money someone is giving you to review their product.
right?
So like, maybe if I see somebody like an influencer that I really
Mhm.
like Emma Chamberlain or something like that. Like, if I see her reviewing a product, then it's okay. Maybe I'll look and see what other people are saying about it and not just go off of one person. But, like, it's not as believable as just like your friend being like, hey dude, this product's really cool. You know, that's
Right.
different.
How about people that do demonstration videos?
I think demonstrations are really good, because it's like, in a demonstration, you don't necessarily have to say that a product is bad for someone to watch you put on a bad product.
Mhm.
Like makeup, for instance,
Mhm.
makeup's really easy to tell if it's like not good or not.
Mhm.
Even if it's like on camera or something, like obviously a video changes the way things look,
Right.
but if it's bad, you can tell. Like if it's bad on camera, you know it's gonna be bad in real life too. So,
With a hot dog waffle. That thing was the most funniest thing to watch. And then
What?
a hot dog waffle.
Never heard of it.
For a hot dog, it's like it's like just a hot dog waffle. But you put a hot dog, in, you don't put like that.
Okay.
You just make a hot dog in a waffle pattern in a hot dog shape.
Okay.
That was a waffle, apparently. It was so dumb, but so funny at the same time. I totally buy one.
Sounds like a corn dog.
It's a corn dog, you put the hot dogs on the outside, and it's in a waffle pattern.
That's very bizarre. but
I
okay.
totally buy one if they're only $5 and not like 40.
Yeah, okay.
It's just so perfect.
So how can apps help you with your daily life? Is there anything an app can do to help you in your daily routine?
Messenger app, the phone app.
Okay,
the
okay,
Google
Google,
Maps.
okay,
Waze,
what?
Waze.
Waze,
It's like a GPS.
Yeah, that's what I use too.
okay,
It's more accurate than Google Maps,
Yeah.
at least like around here. It's more accurate.
So Waze like gives you every single little detail.
Yeah.
Google Maps gives you a good amount of detail, but Waze actually does every single detail.
the thing I really like are those apps that tell you if there's like, if you're on the interstate and there's an accident, traffic's backed up.
Yeah.
And they alert you way ahead of time, so you can find an alternate route. Those are like super handy.
Waze gives you like 4 routes to take, and it gives you a time on all of them, and if like an accident happens, it will show like, if like, say traffic backed up, it will show that this one is like a red line. All of them will be blue,
Mhm.
maybe one might be yellow if it's a little bit of traffic, but like if a car crash happened, it's like backed up, they'll have a red line, and it will try to like estimate the time it would take to get through it.
Mhm.
But then it would have like all 4 different ways to go in and have a time for each one. I use that to use like back roads
Yeah,
to go around traffic. It's really helpful. That's why I like using Waze.
so are there other ways apps can help you besides traffic?
You're not bored, play video game.
Yeah,
Or like.
spend your time.
Or a streaming service,
Mhm.
Right.
like Twitch or an actual like TV show streaming service like Netflix.
How about the clock that's on your phone?
I don't even look at that. I estimate it on the sun.
Okay, what time is it right this minute?
I don't know, I can't see the sun. We're in the building.
There are cracks in between the shutters.
I don't see.
It does have a point. The sun's right overhead, and it's pretty close to noon.
Yeah.
Also, this class is at 12:30.
Yeah.
Crazy,
You know, there's a method to madness, a little bit.
Yeah,
I will agree.
we're gonna buy you a sundial.
I love some that. Well, I usually go off like, dude, working on the end. Well, now, it works about the end, it's probably now midnight. It's gonna look like midnight
Mhm.
because it's winter, but like say in the summer. When like the sun's like halfway down,
Yeah,
or like halfway to the top, it's like, it's close. All right, nice. And then we got like a clock for the first thing anyways. So yeah, I'm not using my phone. It's a lot.
yeah. All right. Are there any apps that you use every single day?
Messenger phone, Dota, just the game.
Mhm.
Um,
Mail, email,
I check that like once every month.
Canvas?
Check that once every week.
Thank you.
Check Canvas on weekends, to make sure I didn't bring anything.
Yeah, I usually do, but I usually check it like, if there's a grade posted, I check it, because I get an email and a notification, and grades kind of thing.
Mhm.
I mean, I guess I check Canvas every day, because to turn stuff in.
I don't know. A lot of my stuff is, read this, read that, write this, write that, like handwriting it, and it's like, there's not as much to turn in on Canvas. When I
Right,
check it, like, a lot of the time I check it like on my computer.
right. Okay. Other apps you use every day?
Candy Crush.
Okay. I can honestly say I've never played it.
Bro, I play Candy Crush every single day.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I play.
Is that your time sucker?
Yes. Well, when I'm sitting in the car, waiting to walk in,
Yeah,
like walk to class, I play Candy Crush.
yeah.
And then when I sit in here, wait, I play Candy Crush.
Oh, Spotify. He's one.
Spotify's a good one.
I gotta say, me personally, not play Candy Crush with more than like one.
Bro, what? I had like on Saturday, one, played like 3 of those. Level 600, man. I've been playing for like 60 days straight.
Oh my gosh, you got nothing on my mom. She's crazy.
I only downloaded it 60 days ago. I played it every day since I downloaded it.
Wow.
I get bored.
My mom plays like, well, what's the name of the farming game? It's like cartoonish. Really
I
cartoonish.
don't know what you're talking about. It's like there's an ad for it all the time.
Yeah, mom plays it all the time. I'm like, Mom, you gotta be kidding me. Play something, anything else, except Candy Crush and that.
All right, how about social media platforms?
Oh, dude, I barely check those. Oh, no, TikTok. I do like just randomly spell TikTok. I will say that.
Is that your favorite TikTok?
Favorite is a hard word. Most used, yes.
Okay,
Most hated, yes.
okay,
I have a screen time limit on TikTok for only 30 minutes a day. So,
that's good.
yeah. Because
That's
I
real
used to
good.
watch like in 2020, when all we were doing is sitting inside.
Yeah.
I used to have like 3 or 4 hours of TikTok a day, and I'm like, So I set it back, and I like didn't even like went cold turkey. I
Yeah.
was like 30 minutes, that's it. That's a lot of time when you're just like scrolling. And
Yeah,
I like to be quiet.
yeah, and this realization came to me back in way before cell phones. This is when I worked in television, and they started doing like all these, and I use this term loosely, reality television shows.
Yeah.
Okay. And it occurred to me that I am spending and wasting my time watching somebody else live their life. And I thought, I have better things to do than to live vicariously through another. So, and that's kind of the way I look at a lot of apps. I might pop on there and post something once in a while. I think I made a couple of posts for homecoming. And that's probably the first time I've posted anything significant in a week or two. It's not something I feel like I have to check every day.
There's only one show, only one reality TV show that I can consistently watch and have fun with.
That's what,
That is Total Drama Island.
total what?
Total Drama Island.
Drama Island.
It's like
That's at my
Survivor.
daughter's place.
It's like Survivor. Have you ever heard of Survivor?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like that, just a cartoon, and it's so funny.
yeah, I know a couple of people
I
who
mean-
are actually on the Survivor show.
Like, it used to be really funny when you're like a lot younger, but it's still somewhat funny because of all, but like, it's like a mix of really childish humor and a lot of adult humor.
Mhm.
It's so funny. It's so funny. I go back to that all the time.
So, it's interesting because a lot of those shows like the housewives that fill in the blank and, they're really not true life reality shows, I don't want to say they're highlight reels, but they're over dramatizations of highlights for
Yeah,
the most part. Because they have to do something to bring in ratings, right?
and like
And bring in viewers.
Total Drama.
Everybody loves conflict. Except me.
I just want like a 24-hour, the Truman Show. I just want that.
The Truman Show, okay.
Just that.
Do you want to live in the bubble?
No, I just want that. I want to watch someone just live their life. That is a reality TV show.
Are you gonna get in the boat and paddle?
So Kyle and Warren, his life is alive.
Mhm.
I'll probably leave him there.
Yeah,
He's living the life. He doesn't have to worry about any of this stuff.
so what do you think about in terms of when we have apps in other countries? Let's say like TikTok's owned by China. And what's that other what do you call it? Weibo,
Cool.
the Chinese app? It's like their version of, I don't wanna say Instagram, because it's all videos, and it Weibo, Calista, what is it, that Chinese app? Is it Weibo?
It's one of the people.
I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, it's like huge. But it's all Chinese oriented. Like, what do you think about in terms of, do you think that we should be able to use any app from anywhere and vice versa? Should it all be wide open and not censored? Or do you think that there is any room for censorship?
I think, we censor stuff when it comes here, and that they censor stuff when we send it over there, probably. China, Winnie the Pooh. They got rid of that real fast.
Well, for example, like for a long time, you had people that claimed that TikTok opened the doors to access of personal information of Americans by the Chinese government. Do you think that's possible? Like, what do you think the Chinese people get out of that data from TikTok?
What's popular?
Okay, what else?
Hold on, I'm gonna TikTok account.
You have like a professional, TikTok account, like professional. You have like your analytics,
Mm-hmm.
so it tells you like your viewer base.
Right,
So like it tells you the age, the gender, and where they're from,
right,
what country they're from,
right,
or like continent, one of them.
right.
And that tells you a lot. Like that's a lot of information. And
Mhm.
you, like, I don't think it's that hard to get into somebody. If you really wanted to,
Mhm.
like, if someone really wanted to, they can get into your account.
Mhm. Right,
So I don't think it's, like, since it's social media, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like it's, obviously, if it was something like super duper important,
mhm.
you shouldn't be posting it on social media anyways.
Okay,
Like some of these people like be posting like their whole like address and stuff, and they get like dogs online, and it's like ridiculous. If someone really wanted to, they could find out.
so do you believe that there's any such thing as targeted surveillance by governments?
Yeah. It's-
And what is the benefit in that?
You're doing nefarious activities. They can find out, they can and will.
You have to figure out how many children I have. Like this.
Okay, so that reminds me, I just watched The Black Phone. Have you seen that?
What is it?
That's when you said that, that's what it reminded me of, children buried in the basement.
Black phone
The Black Phone, it's a new psychological
or
horror movie, psychological.
kids buried in the basement.
Mhm.
I was more or less talking about, what's it called? Trafficking.
Oh, okay. So why would our government, let's say, you have people from all over the world that are using Facebook. Why would our government be interested to know what people are talking about? Have you ever heard of the Arab Spring? Okay. Several years ago, there was an uprising in the Middle East that was all based on Twitter. It was created on Twitter, it was circulated on Twitter, and it led to government opposition and eventual overthrow of governmental regimes. Okay. And it was all generated, founded on Twitter. So going back to the question, why would the government be interested in what's on social media?
Make sure they're not, doing anything that they're saying anything. Nefarious.
Okay, is that censorship? Or are they
Say
just,
again.
huh?
like a more or less, I mean, yeah, it's censorship, but more or less good censorship.
In a sense, like, if you're just like protecting what you worked for, if they're just like watching what you're saying and not actually like, altering what you're saying, that's not censorship.
Okay, is surveillance a form of privacy invasion?
I think if you're freaking doing.
Or not censorship, I'm sorry, did I say it right? Surveillance, is surveillance a form of intrusion in privacy?
Yes. But if you're doing nefarious stuff, then you deserve it.
But what if you're just talking, let's say I'm talking about overthrowing the American government?
Are you talking about with them?
I mean, I'm just being hypothetical, okay? Let's say I'm disgusted with the whole political state,
Not saying it.
but I'm, okay, let's say hypothetically, I'm disgusted with the whole state of American politics, and I think that everything should just be trash and we should start all over. And if I voice that repeatedly, is it fair for the government then to go in and look at my private messages to other people?
Well, I mean, if you're just saying that, you're not saying anything. So let me get straight. From what you just said, it just sounds like that you are saying that we should just start over
Mhm.
on how we do America.
Okay,
That's not saying I'm going to overthrow the government, in a sense. That's just kind of like voicing.
but do you think it could be interpreted by some people as saying that?
Yes, it could be, it could be.
So who determines who has the right to look at my private messages?
With the right? Technically, no, but.
You better rethink that.
Well, technically no, but. in a sense,
Technically,
if the government sees it as a threatening type of, if you keep saying it, you keep saying it.
but who in the government makes that decision? What person can legally make that decision and say, I think this person might potentially be a terrorist?
Let's say, someone from the National Defense Agency.
Because I have a difference of opinion. Is that not my right to have freedom of speech?
See, we're going into a whole like other thing. with that.
Well, I mean, but
You can have freedom of speech, but you are not free of the consequences of that speech.
that's
Yeah.
correct. But if I just say, I think we should start all over, what does that mean? Does that mean I'm threatening the government?
They could,
Or does it mean I'm just expressing my freedom of speech?
they could also do that, but.
So here's my point, who ultimately makes the decision to say, take the data, invade the privacy?
National Defense Agency.
Okay, which threats could they be perceived differently by depending on what the person's party affiliation
100%.
is? Is that fair?
No, that's just how the world's like.
I'm just being the devil's advocate. Huh?
Fair doesn't really exist, right? There's always bias on something. So. If you're really worried about somebody sniffing through your crap, don't say stuff like that. Like, where the people can hear you or see.
Okay, but it's again, going back to the question at hand. I say this, I believe this. Do people have a right? Does the government have a right to go in and look at my private messages?
I think yes.
Can people use that for political gain?
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line?
Wait, political gain. So you would be saying a candidate going through your personal messages, the political gain?
It depends what party's in control.
Well, hey, I mean, if the populace figured out that you were doing something like that before, it would not be a candidate anymore. No one would.
I didn't say I was a candidate.
Well, for political gain, well, I mean.
I don't have to be a candidate to gain politically,
Yeah,
do
but
I?
no one's gonna trust you if you're something like that.
Okay. Have you watched the news in the last 5 years? Okay.
No, I've never watched the news. I don't care.
The news is bad for my mental health.
There is a whole slew, I mean, literally, probably in the last 10 years. There is so much conflict over who has the right to look at private and personal and make decisions about public commentary. And people are guilty of this. There are people that say things or post things on social media in the heat of the moment that they're pissed off or they're angry or they're upset or whatever. And then other people of opposing opinions use that as leverage to find additional stuff.
Does some of that come back to like your terms of service?
Okay, it sure does. But my terms of service are with who?
The company that you're writing with.
Right.
But if there is a, like, say somebody has a warrant,
Well, now a warrant's different. A warrant you have to have probable cause to have a warrant. Okay, that's totally a different thing. Probable cause means I have some evidence. Okay, so that's a little different situation. But there are social media companies that have given private content to the government without warrants. And that's my question. Is that ethical? Is it legal?
I don't think legal. Ethical. Good. Ethically, maybe, might be sound, but legally, no.
So here, where do we draw the line between say that? And let's say I'm just John Doe going through a divorce, a nasty divorce with my wife. And what keeps a lawyer from somehow getting a hold of my private messages where I'm angry at my soon-to-be ex-wife? I'm saying, where do you draw the line here, is my point.
I mean, yeah. If there's probable, whatever, if there's cause, if there could be cause. In, I don't know, abuse or something like that, private messages, I mean, yeah, legally, you could leave private. Because there's evidence, there is a probable evidence that could be there. Well, I mean, if it's just a divorce, a nasty divorce, I don't know what you mean by that, but nasty abuse or something like that, then yes, I would say legally you could. But if it's just a divorce, legally, no, I don't think.
Okay.
Or you shouldn't, no, legally.
So what's the difference between that and if I'm a candidate, let's say I'm running for party X, and I want to get a hold of messages from the candidate from party Y, so I can, run a smear campaign? Where do you draw the line?
Just gotta pay attention.
Because what's at the end of the day,
Mind control.
at the end of the day, business is business, right?
Yeah.
So
At the end
even
of the day,
though,
there is no morality.
so even though we have terms of agreement,
No.
most people don't read them.
Most people are in, no, don't.
Most people don't know what's in it and what's not. Most people don't know what they're committing to. It's like when you upload your pictures onto Facebook or Instagram, the company can actually take all of your images and repurpose them for their own marketing legally, which kind of sucks, right? But that's the agreement. But yet they can take your picture and repurpose it for whatever new app or new feature they're selling or whatever, You don't make a dime, you probably don't even know about it.
I think that's the part that really sucks about like they wouldn't even acknowledge that they took your, like, if you had a photography business, like they wouldn't even tell you that they're using your photo.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
Give you credit of any kind.
yep,
Yeah, we'll take this photo.
yeah, and it might wind up in a billboard, on a billboard somewhere.
It's like, what the heck? That would be such good, like, publicity, but
Yeah,
you never know.
yeah,
Things are scummy like that.
yeah.
No,
So what could you do, what could you do to, when, let's say you're a photographer, what can you do to your photos?
Watermark it.
Yeah, watermark it, absolutely. So anytime you put something up on an app, you probably should watermark it if it's your professional work.
I really hate watermarks in a sense like.
They distort the picture.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I know.
And it's like well, if I don't do this, then someone's gonna steal
Yeah.
it, pass it off as their own, and it's like, but I worked hard for this. So now I have to slap something in the middle of it, and you can't even put it in the corner, because if you put it in the corner.
Yeah,
they're
that-
gonna crop it out.
Yeah, yeah,
Or like
you're right,
blur it.
Yeah.
a little bit.
yeah. Mhm.
It's so awful, because people do that, and like even with art that you draw, like
Yeah.
put it up on Instagram, like fan art or whatever, people just steal it.
Yeah, they do.
This is mine. It's like, it's literally not, okay? I can search that on Google, and that's the first thing that comes up, and that's not your name.
Yep.
It's horrible.
Yep, it is. You're absolutely right, it is. Have you had an experience on an app with somebody stealing your stuff? What happened? Did you report it?
This was when I was younger, it was like 15 or something.
Yeah.
Like I had drawn something and posted it on Instagram, and then I was like scrolling through later, and then I saw it, and I was like, excuse me, this is not yours, this is mine. And I was like, what the heck? And like, as a kid, you don't really know what you're supposed to do with that,
Mhm.
and like, you don't know to watermark stuff. Yeah, go quick.
Yeah,
I mean, it was horrible. And I'm not even sure if they ever like took it down.
Yeah.
It was like very frustrating. It's like someone just took your work and then passed it off to theirs.
Yeah.
And then it's even worse if it's more like publicity.
oh, I know, I know. I'll go through that every single day, and that's the truth. The nonprofit I work for, you know how like on social media, you have little quotes from people,
Yeah.
inspirational quotes. Well, I do about 6 of those a day for this nonprofit that I work for. And there are a whole slew of people I have that take those quotes and repurpose them on their own pages and own feeds. And I had to, I would report it when it first started happening about 6 years ago. But now I have to step back and say, okay, I put the website on it, you know, of the nonprofit. And if they repurpose it, it's my hope that they take the whole thing and not crop out the website listing on the bottom, in hopes that it will get more exposure based on them taking the artwork
Yeah.
and reposting it.
Mhm.
And most of them don't go to the trouble anymore of like cropping out the website at the bottom.
Yep.
Because it's actually part of the artwork. But it took me a long time to get over that, because I was like, I put all this time into making them pretty
Mhm.
and aesthetic, you know, aesthetically appealing. And then people were just ripping them off and creating their own feeds and generating all these followers. And I'm like, well, this really stinks, because I put in hours and hours of my time to make them really look good. So I struggled with that for a long time, because a lot of it was original artwork and graphic design work. And, you know, when it first started happening, I really was upset and I would report it. Now I'm just at the point by weaving that address in, you know, like I said, most of them no longer take the time to try and get rid of it, because it has to be pretty, you gotta spend some time to get rid of it. But you have to do things to safeguard your artwork, because people do it all the time, and then proving it. You know, if you did take somebody to court, to be able to prove that you were the one that initially did it and came up with it, drafted it, you just about have to have all of your original design files to do that. So. And then people can still attempt to recreate it and have design files too. So it's challenging to say the least. So. Are you holding your hand up? Okay, what do you want to say?
Last week, the commercial that you said we needed to do,
Yeah,
is there an assignment on that?
yeah,
I couldn't find it anywhere.
yeah,
Was it on the week?
yeah. Yeah, I put it in there, an upload link for it, the commercial.
Like, I couldn't find it.
I don't think I saw it either.
Okay,
I didn't think I saw it. I looked for it for the good while.
Cause usually I get like a notification.
Yeah.
On my phone, and that's what reminds me to do stuff. But
okay.
I don't think I saw it.
Let me look. I think I've got.
Last thing I saw was do your own logo.
Yeah.
That's the last thing.
Okay. Then I probably need to go in and put that up. That's 30-second, right?
Yes.
Was that on TU or was that on any? Did I have you guys do a commercial on anything, like your own business? That's what. it was.
Yeah, your own system.
Okay. All
Can
right.
you do it on a pre-existing business? There you go.
Yeah, you can. You could do it on one from home. If that's what you're asking.
Do I have to be in the video?
Not if you're shooting it.
Nice.
I don't expect you to be in it unless you're shooting yourself.
I don't think I want to shoot myself. I have to go to Bing for that.
Huh?
I have to go to Bing for that one.
Okay.
I need a tutorial.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'll get a link up for it. I didn't realize I didn't have one.
Do we just make like a commercial? Do we need to use anything specific?
It's up to you.
Like
You have to write the copy for it. You know, whatever you're gonna say. And then you have to record it, and then you have
write a copy of like the script?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
and then you just have to piece it together.
Didn't we just use the audio since we already paid?
You could. You could.
Like you already have that audio.
Alright.
Kind of want to say that all that Johnny did. And like play the thing out loud.
Yeah, you could. You
Cut
could do that.
audio and then Overlay it with the audio that you already have.
Yeah. Yeah, you could do that. Just shoot B-roll to go over that audio that you already cut.
That you still need to write a script.
No, you don't have to write a script if you're using that audio.
Oh, nice.
That's what she's saying. That would be your audio track. You wouldn't have to write a script for it. Yeah,
That'd be super sick though, if you had like, just like funeral footage of like doing all that stuff. At that shop, that'd be sick, and you could actually use it.
Yep.
Put that bad boy up on like Facebook or something, Instagram. Good marketing.
she's right.
To do that.
And mom would like it.
Like, this is what I wanna do.
Like, I used to do that all the time, doing like commercials, put it on Facebook and Instagram and like that.
That's one thing they used to tell us when I worked in television is you should always create the audio so it can be ripped out and thrown over to a radio station. Always. Because we did that a lot. We just pull it out and we send it over to XBQ or QT or whoever.
Honestly, I have to tie in an audio file with the video file.
Yeah.
Sure, I can do that.
All right, but I'll get that link put in. I'm sorry, I didn't realize it wasn't there. Okay. I think this is probably a good time to break for in here. I need to let you guys know, I will not be here on Wednesday because I'm taking a group of students, to a workshop. So, I will put up your assignment for the weekend, but I can tell you what you'll be doing is you're gonna take an app that you use or know, and you're gonna create basically almost like, you know how you do a site map for a website? You'll be doing something like that for an app. So you'll have to pick an app that I would say is fairly simple. Doesn't have too many like drill downs in it. And then you're gonna create that map, that hierarchy map. You can sketch it out by hand, or you can do it on the computer. Doesn't matter to me how you do it, but I just want you to say, okay, so like you have your home screen. And then your home screen drills down into however many top tier navigation areas. And then each of those navigation areas will drill on down to other pages and content. So that's what I want you to illustrate and show me. Is how that works, how they've set up the app. So if I asked you to structure a similar app, you would have some structure to start with. Make sense? Okay, so that's what you guys will be doing for over the weekend. And I'll put up a couple more. I'll probably put up a couple of planning videos, tutorials, just to kind of show you how to structure a sitemap correctly for an app. But that's what you guys will be doing over the weekend. Okay. Now, I know you want to see me for courses, right? I've got to get with Callista because she's been waiting on me this whole class time.
Okay.
And then as soon as I get done with her, then we'll get you in, okay? You need to make an appointment to get registered for classes too. For spring semester. Okay. So I'm guessing you probably, is Bill your advisor or not? Okay, you need to get Bill, get an appointment to get registered.
All right.
Okay. All right, folks. That's it, and I will see you guys in class on Monday, but make sure you check Canvas later on this week for your assignments for the rest of the week. Okay.